Growth is an incredibly powerful assessment with an amazing set of features and capabilities, and I'm going to share everything you need to know about it right here, from the big picture stuff down to the little details. We'll look under the hood of the assessment and see all the results and reports it gives you. At the end of this video, you'll know how the test works, how it delivers the best data, and why it will transform how you teach. As a teacher, I know how busy you are. I know you're probably watching this at lunch or at the end of a long day, maybe even the weekend. Yes, this is homework, but this is also a lifesaver if you need to understand map growth. And I promise I won't waste your time. Here, I'll prove it. Let me explain to you what map growth is in about 90 seconds. Can I get a timer, please?
And go.
Map growth measures student achievement and academic growth over time. Students typically take it 3 times a year, fall, winter, and spring, so educators can measure growth between those test events. Map growth is a computer adaptive test, which means that it adjusts the difficulty level of the test questions for each student. If students get a question wrong, the next question is easier. Get a question right, and the next question is harder. This means no 2 map growth tests are alike, and no 2 students will receive the same questions in the same sequence. Map growth keeps on adapting until students complete about 43 questions, which usually takes around 45 to 55 minutes, or about 1 class period. Because the test adapts to each student, most students end up with about 50% of the questions correct. This helps educators better understand strength and opportunity areas for each student, helping teachers make decisions that maximize academic growth. There are map growth tests for science and language usage, and even high school courses like algebra, geometry, integrated math, and life science, but most students take the reading and the math sections of the test, which are also available in Spanish. All map growth tests have accommodation features from a line reading tool to text-to-speech. And the best part about map growth, students don't have to study for it. Map growth scores aren't used for grading and are designed to help educators know where students are at on their learning journey so they can make decisions on how to best support them. That's why we call it growth. Okay, what'd I do?
127.
127. Here's the full list of what we're going to cover in this video. Who is NWEA? What is map growth? What problems does map growth help solve? Why do educators choose map growth? What is the RIT score and scale? What is the value of map growth norms? What reports are available in map growth? And what questions do they answer? And what are the best ways to use map growth data? Ready? Let's get started. Let's start with a quick history lesson on how map growth was created. 40 years ago, a group of teachers came together in Portland, Oregon to create a better test, one that gave teachers data they actually needed to teach better and more strategically. They wanted a tool that could help other educators understand if all students were growing academically, not just simply performing at or around grade level. Those teachers formed NWEA, then called the Northwest Evaluation Association, and developed the Measure of Academic Progress, which we know today as map growth. From hand-scoring tests 40 years ago to becoming the leaders in computer adaptive testing, NWEA continues to demonstrate its dedication to accurately measuring student learning and growth on its way to achieving its mission, to help all kids learn. NWEA continues that mission now as part of the leading education technology company in the world, HMH. When you look inside NWEA, you'll find a selection of products and services that help our partners bring together assessment, curriculum, and instruction to improve outcomes for all kids. Map growth and map reading fluency are our flagship assessments, both providing trustworthy data educators need to advance student growth and equitable learning outcomes. Our Instructional Connections program connects map growth data to more than 30 of the most popular instructional products, helping to quickly translate map growth scores into personalized learning pathways that provide individualized instruction based on student need. NWEA Learning and Improvement Services offer a robust, holistic slate of professional development experiences designed by experienced educators to bring curriculum, instruction, and assessment into alignment. Now, with the history lesson out of the way, we can get back to our regularly scheduled program, an overview of map growth. At NWEA, we believe that educators who deeply understand their students and the impact of their decisions on student learning are the true catalysts for creating environments that support student growth. By providing every educator with actionable insights and data, we can profoundly impact their ability to help every child maximize academic success. How do we empower educators with this actionable data? Through MAP Growth. MAP Growth is the most trusted and innovative assessment for measuring achievement and growth in K-12 math, reading, language usage, and science. MAP Growth provides educators with accurate, actionable evidence to help inform instructional strategies, regardless of how far above or below grade level students are. MAP Growth also connects to the largest set of instructional content providers, giving educators flexibility in how they use assessment data to inform curriculum choices. As the most popular K-12 assessment in the U.S., MAP Growth serves over 14 million students annually in nearly 36,000 schools. Educators continue to choose MAP Growth year after year as their preferred K-12 assessment for a variety of compelling reasons. It's the most accurate and reliable K-12 assessment available today, providing the precision educational leaders need to make crucial decisions on how to support students. With unparalleled grade and subject coverage, including high school math and science, educators have a single assessment solution for math, reading, language usage, and science. MAP Growth uses the RIT scale, a grade-independent scale allowing educators to accurately track academic growth over time for all students. Our norms are sculpted to accurately represent the cultural, socioeconomic, geographic, and racial diversity of the United States. MAP Growth doesn't just compare scores to other students who took the test last year. It precisely answers the question, how do my students compare to a representative sample of students across the United States? NWEA's research team is respected as innovators and thought leaders in education. When state and national leaders have questions about achievement trends or the impact of events like COVID-19 on K-12 students, they turn to our team for answers. Educators highly value the freedom that MAP Growth offers, empowering them to personalize instruction based on assessment data, while retaining the flexibility to choose the instructional tools that best support their students. Creating an educational environment conducive to high growth comes with many challenges, including incomplete or missing data on student learning, conflicting information and priorities, difficulty in identifying patterns, uncertainty about effectiveness of programs, the struggle to link cause and result, and many more, including questions about resources and mandates. So, what does MAP Growth do, really? It comes down to 3 questions that MAP Growth is designed to precisely answer. Where are my students academically? Are my students growing over time? And how do my students compare to similar students across the nation? Educators today need a tool that lets them make strong and fact-based decisions about how to inform instruction and provide personalized learning opportunities for students. Administrators and school leaders want to improve their school systems, and to do so, they need a tool that helps them better understand the impact of their decisions on student learning. Educators want to get students with the greatest amount of need the support they deserve, so they need a method to quickly identify those kids and rapidly place them into the right programs. And finally, educators should be able to tell their story with data and show others the positive impact they're making. Whether they're talking to the Board of Education or to individual parents, they need data that helps them speak confidently about how their team is moving their school in the right direction. To unlock the full potential of MAP Growth and harness its powerful capabilities, it's essential to understand the cornerstone of its design, the RIT Score. This unique measurement is the key to providing precise, actionable insights that empower educators to support students' growth effectively. Let's dive into what the RIT Score is and explore the foundational elements that make MAP Growth an indispensable tool for educators. To truly understand the value of MAP Growth, it's critical to spend some time exploring its foundations. One of the most unique things about the MAP Growth test is the type of score it provides, the RIT score. The RIT score is the precise measurement of academic achievement used by the map growth test. It is the score that is shown in all the map growth reports and is the foundation for all of the data and insights that map growth provides. So, let's go over some of the most important aspects of the RIT score and the RIT scale. RIT stands for Roche unit and is a measurement scale designed to simplify the interpretation of test scores. The RIT scale ranges from 100 to 350 and helps educators track growth across a student's entire K-12 educational career. It's an equal interval scale, which means that, just like inches on a ruler, it measures student learning equally across the entire RIT scale. This means that the amount of learning growth that occurs between a 121 and 122 RIT score is the same amount of learning that occurs between a 304 and 305 RIT score. The RIT scale is grade level independent. It measures achievement and growth independent of a student's age or grade. This means that all students of all ages with all kinds of RIT scores can be compared using our RIT scale. For the two students we see on the screen, the fact that they both have a RIT score of 220 means that they're performing at roughly the same level academically, regardless of their grade level. In fact, these two students don't even have to be in the same school or the same country for this to be true. Any two students in any school, anywhere in the world, that receive the same RIT score are performing at roughly the same academic level. Having a score that is grade level independent means that educators don't have to limit themselves to on, below, or above grade level when trying to understand academic performance. The RIT score unlocks the ability to truly understand where every student is at on their learning journey and to see if they are showing growth over time. Let's take a closer look at how the RIT score is calculated. Every map growth test has 43 questions. An ideal map growth test event is when a student gets about 50% of the test items correct. What's behind that goal? Map growth is a computer adaptive test designed to home in on an individual student's achievement level. The test starts off with a question of a difficulty level that's appropriate for each student. If a student gets a question right, the next question is more difficult. If a student gets a question wrong, the next question is easier. As you can see from this example, the test adapts up and down as it searches for that perfect difficulty level where the student is getting about half of the questions correct and half incorrect. Let me break this down in another visual to provide a different way to see how RIT scores are calculated. Here we're going to see how our student, Winston, earned a 195 RIT score on his map growth math test. Similar to our previous visual, you can see that he got around half of his test questions correct and incorrect. Let's put each one of these test questions on the RIT scale to see how his RIT score was calculated. With those test items for Winston laid out on the RIT scale, you can see the difficulty of items he was getting correct and incorrect. If we look at the items below 195, we can see that Winston was getting them correct more than 50% of the time. And for the items above 195, we can see that Winston was getting them incorrect over 50% of the time. But the items right around 195 are the ones that Winston was getting correct and incorrect at about an equal rate. That's how the RIT score is calculated. Map growth starts a student with appropriate content for their grade level, and then adapts until it's able to identify the level of difficulty the student is getting correct and incorrect around 50% of the time. This unique way of calculating RIT scores is the key to why educators can compare all students of all ages on a single performance scale. Before we move on, I thought it would be a nice little recap to get a good understanding of what the RIT score is and what's so important to understand. Map growth has 43 questions per test and provides each student with a RIT score. What the RIT score represents is the difficulty level of the test items that students are getting correct or incorrect around 50% of the time. The reason students typically only get around half of the questions correct is because map growth is computer adaptive and adjusts the difficulty of each test item to continuously challenge the student. Each RIT score is between 100 and 350 on the RIT scale, which is an equal interval scale, just like a ruler. This means that one RIT point of learning growth on the RIT scale equals the same amount of learning growth anywhere else on the scale. The importance of the equal interval scale is that it's incredibly stable, which provides educators a single score to measure achievement and growth across a student's K-12 educational career. The RIT scale is grade-level independent, which means students with the same RIT score are performing at roughly the same academic level. This means that any two students with the same RIT score are getting the same types of test items correct and incorrect around 50% of the time. Having an assessment score that is grade-level independent allows educators to compare student achievement and growth across grades, ages, and geographies. Congratulations! You now have an honorary minor in computer adaptive testing and the RIT scale from NWEA University. Now that you have the basics of the RIT score and the RIT scale down, I figure I could give you a real-life scenario to demonstrate why this unique measurement device is so useful. Say you have a new third grade student that joins your school from a different state, and they're coming to your public school from a private school. The standards in your state may not look anything like the standards used at the student's previous school. The letter grading of the student's previous school might be totally different than what your school system uses. But luckily enough, the student's old school gave MAP growth 3 times a year for reading and math. Your school's MAP growth scores and the MAP growth scores from the student's old schools can be compared on the exact same scale. They're perfectly compatible. With that historical MAP growth data in hand, educators in your school can quickly put together what this student's learning journey looks like and rapidly identify if that student has any needs for intervention or advanced placement. You can even compare your new student's MAP growth data with your current student's data to determine if there are peers with similar achievement and growth patterns and potentially find learning partners who would be on your new student's level. There are countless examples like this, where the power of the RIT score and the RIT scale opens doors to insights that enable educators to better support students. Because the RIT score is built on the industry's most stable scale, the RIT scale, MAP growth can track a student's academic growth across their entire K-12 educational career. Students can transfer schools, transfer districts, or move to different states, and MAP growth scores will still provide consistent insights on academic growth over time. We'll go over all the reports that MAP growth offers later, but right now, let's look at the student profile report. The Growth Over Time chart provides educators with a single view that tells the story of students' academic achievement and growth over time. Each test event is marked by a student's RIT score and placed on a color-coded field that represents the 5 different percentile bands in MAP growth norms. For example, in this visual, the green band represents the 61st through the 80th percentile. Educators can compare student RIT scores to the national average, the black dashed line, and the district mean, the black dotted line, to gain even more insight as to how a student compares with their peers in the district and across the nation. And there's even more value in having a chart than we see at first glance. We're consistently surprised at how many unique insights our educational partners discover in this specific chart. For example, we've had school principals tell us that they've used this chart to identify students experiencing interpersonal issues at home or with other students. When they see a sudden drop-off in achievement across multiple subjects, it's a big indicator that they should follow up with the student and see if they need SEL support. We've also had many teachers tell us that this view is important for helping high-achieving students stay motivated about learning, even though they may find themselves performing above the rest of their class. When teachers challenge these kinds of students with goal-setting activities, staying in the green band or getting into the blue band is something that keeps the students focused on their own academic growth. Scores and data are always important, but having the MAP growth RIT scale to tell a story of growth over time helps in ways that experienced users find invaluable. MAP growth is one test with many uses. Here are some of the most popular uses for MAP growth. First up, measuring achievement and growth for all students. We know you have many students who perform significantly above or far below grade level. Assessments that only measure performance against grade level standards can leave education leaders with a lack of information about these students. But MAP growth is different than most assessments. MAP growth adapts difficulty to match each student's performance level, which means that it measures achievement and growth for every student, regardless of if they are below, on, or above grade level. Here's the second usage for MAP growth to point out: helping educators measure the impact of some of their most important decisions. Educators make countless decisions that shape student learning, but one of the hardest questions to answer is still, did the change we made have the impact we wanted it to have? MAP growth leads in impact measurement by excelling in two areas: delivering accurate, valid, and reliable data, and providing educators with easy-to-use reports. With trustworthy data from MAP growth, educators can confidently link outcomes to their decisions without worrying about test variability or extraneous factors. However, data alone isn't enough. It needs to be transformed into insights. That's where the new suite of MAP growth profile reports comes in. These 4 reports are designed for 4 levels: district, school, class, and student. Each one helps educators understand how learning has been impacted over time. They enable users to spot trends, measure academic growth, and identify impacts on different student groups. With best-in-class data and user-friendly reports from MAP growth, educators can more easily measure the impact of their decisions, continuously improve, and support student growth. A third popular use for MAP growth is as a benchmark assessment. This popularity stems from the assessment's ability to serve as a measurement tool for a wide variety of educator-defined benchmarks. While many other assessments only provide cursory information about whether a student is on or off grade level, MAP growth's unique adaptive design allows it to assess students at any performance level, helping educators understand if students are meeting a much wider range of benchmarks. For example, special education students may not perform at grade level, but there is significant value in setting growth benchmarks and tracking their progress towards these goals. Similarly, high-performing students may consistently perform above grade level throughout their K-12 careers. Setting achievement and growth benchmarks for these students is important to keep motivation high and ensure continued success. At an organizational level, schools across the achievement spectrum may focus on hitting specific goals that extend beyond simply being on or off grade level. Private schools, for instance, might be interested in how their students are reaching benchmarks compared to other local private schools. This versatility in measuring performance against various benchmarks is where MAP growth truly shines. It provides educators with the tools they need to set and track the benchmarks that guide student growth, enabling a tailored approach to meet the needs of all students. And now the fourth popular use we'll discuss. Longtime users of MAP growth often build their universal screening and intervention screening programs around the assessment. By administering MAP growth to all students, educators can identify those at academic risk. Its adaptive design provides precise data on each student's performance, enabling early detection of learning gaps for timely intervention. Using MAP growth as a universal screener supports frameworks like Response to Intervention, RTI, and Multi-Tiered System of Supports, MTSS. Detailed reports help teachers tailor instruction, monitor interventions, and adjust strategies as needed. In essence, MAP growth equips educators with actionable data to support every student's learning journey, ensuring appropriate challenges and assistance for all. For many educators, tools that aid in differentiation and personalization are critical to accelerating learning and keeping students engaged with content. MAP growth provides educators with the data and insights they need to narrow in the best content and strategies to do exactly that. Key data like Lexile and Quantile scores help teachers immediately identify reading and math content that is accessible but still challenging to students. A clear view of academic diversity of a class provides clarity when it comes to the creation of flexible learning groups, enabling teachers to provide more personalized instruction. And the Map Growth Instructional Connections program uses Map Growth data to create personalized learning paths in over 30 of the most popular instructional tools used in schools all over the world. Whether it's providing personalized math and reading content, guidance on how to form flexible learning groups, or access to high-quality instructional tools online, Map Growth helps educators meet each student's unique needs and foster continuous academic growth. While many districts are accustomed to using Map Growth data to screen for interventions, this high-quality and reliable assessment tool is equally important in identifying students ready for advanced opportunities or placement in gifted and talented programs. Map Growth often serves as a central element in schools' placement decision processes, helping educators determine which students would benefit most from advanced learning opportunities. By incorporating Map Growth into a balanced assessment plan, schools can accurately identify students who need extra support and those poised to excel beyond the standard curriculum. NWEA researchers have published guides and hosted webinars on using Map Growth for gifted and talented identification, assisting educators across the globe in building stronger and more equitable programs. If you're interested in learning more about using Map Growth as part of your gifted and talented identification process, you can find additional information and resources in the Resource Center on nwea.org. In summary, Map Growth's versatility, from measuring achievement and growth for all students to aiding personalized instruction and identifying gifted learners, helps educators make informed decisions to enhance learning outcomes for all. Map Growth assessments are carefully aligned with a wide range of educational standards, ensuring they accurately measure student progress according to specific learning expectations. Map Growth aligns with various state-specific, national, and international standards, including the Common Core State Standards, Next Generation Science Standards, or NGSS, and many regional frameworks. NWEA ensures alignment to that wide variety of standards by creating unique Map Growth tests for each set of standards. This customization process begins with NWEA content specialists thoroughly reviewing these academic standards to understand their depth, breadth, and complexity. They then review the entire Map Growth item pool of over 51,000 items, identify specific items that match the standards, and then build a custom item pool that only contains test items that match the standards. This custom item pool ensures that every single item that a student sees on this particular test is aligned to the selected standard. With multiple versions of Map Growth tests aligned to individual state, national, regional, and international standards, educational partners have the flexibility to choose the assessment that best fits their needs. Schools can select the specific standards for their Map Growth assessments, ensuring the tests are directly relevant to their curriculum, even if they do not align with the standards of their geographical location. This is particularly beneficial for international schools and private schools that follow different curricula or educational frameworks. Map Growth isn't just about assessing students. It's about transforming that assessment data into meaningful classroom actions that accelerate learning. When teachers have Map Growth data at their fingertips, they have a powerful set of tools to better understand the needs of the class and tailor instruction to meet the unique needs of every student. Here are some of the top ways that Map Growth connects to the classroom to impact teaching strategies and student learning. I'll start first with how Map Growth helps teachers understand the academic diversity of a class. Understanding the academic diversity in a classroom is crucial for teachers to make effective instructional decisions. Different levels and types of academic diversity require different teaching strategies, and what works for one class dynamic may not suit another. As a very simple example, whole class instruction may be effective when most students are at or around grade level, but not when abilities vary widely or when a class has several unique learning segments. Map Growth provides teachers with a clear picture of their class's academic diversity, offering critical insights to tailor instructional strategies and support each student's learning journey. Map Growth data doesn't just help teachers understand the academic diversity of their class, It actively supports the creation of personalized learning pathways through the Instructional Connections program. By connecting map growth data to over 30 of the most popular instructional tools, this program allows teachers to link assessment results directly to high-quality learning resources. This means every student gets the right content at the right time, personalized to their learning needs. Here's how it works. First, students take their map growth test. With the school's permission, test data is securely transferred to the Instructional Connection partners. Next, the Instructional Connection uses map growth data to identify personalized content for each student. The next time the student logs into the instructional tool, the content is tailored specifically to their needs, without the need for additional placement tests. This seamless integration simplifies differentiation and personalization, allowing teachers to focus more on individual student needs. Educators understand that the needs of their students are not uniform, and that there is no one-size-fits-all instructional tool. The Instructional Connections program recognizes this diversity of need by empowering educators to choose the resources that best meet their students' specific needs. This means that if one learning tool works great in younger grades and other tools work better for older grades, Map Growth is there to support your ability to match the right learning tool to the right type of student. By empowering those who work most closely with students to select appropriate tools, Map Growth ensures that instruction is personalized and effective, ultimately supporting better educational outcomes for all learners. And the benefits of the Instructional Connections program don't stop at linking Map Growth data to supplemental curriculum tools. The program also assists in directly placing students into interventions. Now that NWEA is a part of HMH, the Instructional Connections program now includes Read 180 and Math 180. This integration allows educators to seamlessly use map growth data to place students into these personalized intervention programs. By identifying students who need additional support in reading or math, educators can ensure targeted, data-driven instruction that efficiently addresses skill gaps and gets students the personalized support they need. Map growth data plays a key role in helping teachers create flexible learning groups that enhance small group instruction. While many reports can inform these learning groups, the Class Profile Report is the most popular tool for this purpose. This report includes a histogram that helps teachers quickly identify students performing at similar levels in each subject, making group creation straightforward. Additionally, the report's filtering feature helps visualize performance in specific instructional areas, like geometry and math, enabling even more targeted grouping. Overall, the Class Profile Report simplifies and optimizes flexible group creation. Map Growth empowers teachers to quickly identify class-wide strengths and areas for growth. Within the Class Profile Report is an easy-to-scan data visualization that outlines how the class is performing in the various instructional areas, helping teachers spot trends in performance. For example, teachers can see if the class excels in statistics and probability, or needs a bit more focus on real and complex number systems. This reliable data enables teachers to confidently adjust their instructional strategies at the class level to maximize growth for all. Map Growth also allows teachers to dig into the performance of each student by looking at the Student Profile Report. This report includes a section that indicates if an instructional area is an area of strength or an area of focus for a student. In this example, the student's overall RIT score is 208, and their instructional area RIT score in literature is 199, indicating a clear area of focus for the student. Whether it's in the Class Profile Report or the Student Profile Report, Map Growth provides teachers with the information they need to quickly identify student and class-level strength and opportunity areas, enabling them to make strong decisions on how to support student growth. Our final topic highlights one of the most impactful ways Map Growth supports teachers, by providing Lexile and quantile scores for each student. These scores, clearly shown in both the Student Profile and Class Profile reports, are available wherever teachers access Map Growth data. With Lexile and Quantile scores, teachers can make immediate, informed decisions about the appropriate level of reading and math materials for each student, ensuring the content is both accessible and challenging to promote growth. So there you have it, 6 powerful ways MAP growth connects directly to the classroom, equipping teachers with the data they need to make confident decisions about flexible learning groups, interventions, differentiation, and more. With this valuable insight, teachers can tailor their instruction to meet the unique needs of every student, driving growth and success. For most educators, reports are the primary way that they engage with MAP growth. These reports serve as the vital link between accurate, reliable assessment data and the educators who make key decisions on how to support their students. Now, we'll take an in-depth look at the various reports available in MAP growth and explore how each one empowers educators to make confident, data-driven decisions. MAP growth reports are organized into the following categories: profile reports, the family report, legacy reports, operational reports, and premium reports. I'll give you a quick overview of each, followed by a more detailed explanation of each one. Our new interactive profile report offers a comprehensive view of data across all levels of your school ecosystem: district, school, class, and individual student. The MAP Growth Family Report is specifically designed to help educators effectively communicate student progress with parents. Legacy reports are a collection of our most popular reports from previous generations of the MAP Growth reporting suite. Operational reports are designed to help assessment coordinators and central office staff monitor testing progress, including testing status, completion rates, and identifying students who may need to retest. Finally, premium reports are available for purchase through your NWEA account representative. These custom reports are created by NWEA research experts who analyze your district's specific data to provide deeper insights. Now, we'll dive into each of these report types and see how they help educators better understand student growth and make more informed decisions. Let's start with the Profile Report, the newest addition to our suite, designed based on feedback from educators worldwide. They offer a comprehensive view of data across all levels of your school ecosystem: district, school, class, and individual student. Each report features interactive tools that allow you to filter, sort, and explore data, helping you uncover insights to support student growth. Let's begin by exploring the District Profile Report. The District Profile Report offers an interactive overview of the academic performance and growth across an entire district. This report enables educational leaders to track achievement and growth from the district level down to individual grades within each school, providing a holistic view of the district's academic standing. The report provides a precise snapshot of where the district excels and where there are opportunities for improvement across various academic subjects. By comparing district performance to national norms and filtering data by gender, ethnicity, program, or subject, educational leaders can make informed, district-wide decisions about where to allocate resources and make strategic changes. The School Profile Report provides educators with an extensive view of individual school performance, combining aggregate data at the school level with detailed insights into grade and class-level achievement and growth. It's a crucial tool for administrators to assess building performance and evaluate the impact of curricular, resourcing, and intervention decisions. By offering data at both the school and grade level, this report assists in identifying trends across grades, subjects, and instructional areas over multiple terms. Additionally, the ability to filter data by various subgroupings, such as gender, ethnicity, and program, ensures that all student groups receive the appropriate support. The School Profile Reports help you address challenges strategically and celebrate successes. The Class Profile Report is a valuable tool for teachers and instructional leaders looking to understand classroom-wide and individual student performance. It provides a full picture of achievement organized by class and subject for a single test window. The class profile report highlights academic diversity of a class, aiding in the creation of flexible learning groups. The report identifies common strengths and areas for improvement, helping teachers refine instructional strategies to meet their class's needs. Teachers also use this report to monitor testing status, including completion rates and engagement metrics, gaining detailed insights into each student's testing experience. The Student Profile Report offers a detailed view of each student's academic journey, equipping educators with the insights needed for effective personalized instruction. It includes achievement and growth data for all tests a student has taken, highlighting strengths and areas for improvement. The popular Growth Over Time chart, located at the bottom of the Student Profile Report, displays student test scores across a student's entire K-12 educational career, providing a clear narrative of academic growth. The Student Profile Report also provides accurate projections for state summative assessments and college and career readiness tests, like the ACT or SAT, helping educators set achievable goals. Now that we've reviewed all the profile reports, we can move on to our next report, the MAP Growth Family Report. The MAP Growth Family Report is a vital tool for educators and parents, offering a clear snapshot of a student's academic progress across all tested subjects in a single testing window. This report is designed to facilitate meaningful conversations between teachers and caregivers, presenting assessment results in an easy-to-understand format that's accessible to all families. By providing insights into a student's achievement and growth percentiles, relative strengths and weaknesses, and projected proficiency on state assessments or college readiness exams, the Family Report enables collaborative support for the student's academic journey. Whether you're reviewing results after testing or discussing growth over multiple terms, this report empowers families to actively engage in their child's education, ensuring students receive the support they need to succeed. Next up, the MAP Growth Legacy Reports. Let's take a look. Legacy reports are a collection of our most popular reports from previous generations of the MAP Growth Reporting Suite. While much of the key information and many of the data visualizations from these legacy reports are gradually being integrated into the new profile reports, they continue to provide valuable insights for many MAP Growth partners. Although many of these reports are scheduled for retirement soon, the data export, commonly known as the CDF report, Comprehensive and Combined Data File, will remain available. This export file is highly popular, enabling district-level users to download all MAP growth data in spreadsheet form and upload it into custom analysis tools or school information systems. Next up, we have the operational reports. MAP Growth operational reports are vital tools for managing the logistics of administering assessments. The reports offer real-time insights into testing status, student engagement, and participation rates, helping educators monitor progress, quickly address issues, and ensure all students complete their tests on time. These reports also identify technical problems or disengagement, enabling timely interventions and makeup testing. Last on our list to review today are premium reports. MAP Growth Premium reports offer districts and schools customized, in-depth analysis tailored to their specific needs, providing advanced insights that go beyond standard reports. Developed in collaboration with NWEA's research teams, these reports deliver detailed data exploration, identify trends and achievement gaps, and offer actionable recommendations for improving student outcomes. Available for an additional fee, these reports can be requested from an NWEA account manager. If you'd like to learn more about MAP Growth reports, our account executives are available to provide a live demonstration of all the reporting options, features, and functionality. To request a demonstration, simply visit nwea.org and click on the Sales link at the top of the page. We'll share more ways to get in touch at the end of this video. If you would like to explore MAP Growth reports further before talking to an NWEA representative, I suggest taking a look at 2 brochures that provide an excellent overview of MAP growth reports. For a quick introduction, the brochure, Harnessing the Power of MAP Growth Reports, outlines key information on how educators can use these reports to support student growth. For a deeper understanding, the MAP Growth Reports portfolio provides detailed insights into each report, including data components and essential questions they address. Whether you need a quick glance or an in-depth look, these resources have you covered. Both of these brochures can be found in the NWEA.org Resource Center, accessible by clicking on the Resources tab in the top menu. Once in the Resource Center, click the Topic Filter button to reveal a drop-down menu of options. To find these brochures, select the Insights and Reports filter, and they should appear at the top of the results list. Easy peasy lemon squeezy! MAP Growth is the leader in helping educators understand how their students' academic achievement and growth compares to students around the country. Powered by the most comprehensive norms in the country, MAP Growth provides school leaders with the context they need to make the strongest decisions possible. At their core, MAP Growth norms are designed to give context to RIT scores and precisely answer one very important question. How do my students compare to a truly representative sample of students across the nation? It's the second half of this question where MAP Growth really shines, its ability to accurately reflect a representative sample of the United States. That's because MAP Growth norms aren't based merely on the average of the scores from last year's test results, like some other assessments. The NWEA research team goes way beyond that to provide educators with the context they really need. MAP Growth norms are built using millions of test events across all 50 states, including 3 years' worth of data. The norms are updated every 3 to 5 years and are sculpted to represent the demographic and geographic diversity of the country. Sculpted means that MAP Growth norms balance and adjust the raw test data for multiple factors like geographical, socioeconomic, and racial diversity. The norms also adjust for potential oversampling in any single school district. For instance, if a certain percentage of U.S. citizens live in urban, rural, or suburban areas, MAP Growth norms are adjusted to match that census data. If a certain racial group makes up a certain percentage of the U.S. population, NWEA researchers ensure that MAP Growth norms accurately reflect that in the norms data. All of this work by the NWEA research team leads to the most accurate norms available, giving educators confidence in their ability to answer some of their most important questions. MAP Growth norms come in 2 different varieties: achievement norms and growth norms. Achievement norms help you understand how performance on a single test event compares to students across the nation. Growth norms aid in explaining how the difference in RIT score between 2 test events, such as how much a student grew between September and May, compares to students across the nation. To better illustrate MAP Growth norms, I'm going to tell you the story of Karina, a 6th grade student who took a MAP Growth math test. In this story, it's early January, and Karina just got done with her 2nd MAP Growth test of the year. On this test, she received a RIT score of 225 in math. In order to give some context to what that 225 means, we need to compare her score to other students in the same grade. That's what MAP Growth norms do, provide context to each and every RIT score to help educators and students understand how they compare to the rest of the U.S. MAP Growth norms can be visually expressed as a bell curve. Here, I've laid out some of the RIT scores for 6th grade winter math that represent the 25th, 50th, and 75th percentiles. If we place Karina's score on this bell curve, you can see that her performance on the MAP Growth math test places her in the 63rd percentile. This means she scored higher than 63% of students in her grade, and lower than 27% of students in her grade. Achieving a 63rd percentile is something Karina should absolutely feel proud of, and this norms data can help her teachers and parents celebrate her success. Understanding where Karina is right now is great, But in order to really understand how Karina is doing academically, we need to look at her past RIT scores to see if she is growing academically over time. Here are her fall math test scores and her winter math test scores side by side. You can see that she grew by 2 RIT points between fall and winter. Is a 2-point RIT gain above average? Or should her teacher be concerned? That's where our growth norms come in. Growth norms help explain how changes in RIT scores between 2 test events, for this example, fall and winter, compare to the growth of similar students across the nation. Now, let's get some context for Karina's growth of 2 RIT points using the growth norms. The numbers at the bottom of this bell curve are a little bit different than the previous one because we're looking at growth norms. These numbers represent the growth in RIT points between the fall and winter test events. As you can see here, Karina's growth percentile was 29, which means that she grew more than 29% of similar students in the U.S. While we could continue to do more analysis, such as comparing Karina's percentiles to her classmates, we'll pause to see what we can do with just achievement and growth information. With an achievement percentile of 63 and a growth percentile of 29, we can clearly see that Karina is performing slightly higher than the national average, but is showing lower than average growth. Teachers can use this information to help guide their engagement with Karina, figuring out where she's experiencing learning hurdles, or even if there are non-academic issues that are causing her to show slower growth than previous years. They can also use it to help guide conversations with parents, giving teachers a way to indicate that Karina might need additional support if she's going to continue to achieve higher than the national average. So much information, guidance, and value derived from only 2 data points. That's the power of map growth. What we've covered today only scratches the surface on the massive value that map growth norms can bring to educators. If you want to learn more about how map growth norms can help you better understand student achievement and growth and make more confident decisions, head over to our YouTube page and view our Map Growth Norms 101 video. One of our talented researchers gives an in-depth overview of how map growth norms are created and how they can be used to better understand student learning. When we talk to educators, one of the topics that comes up quite frequently is how to build an effective assessment plan that minimizes how many different types of tests are needed. For this reason, we're proud that we get to say that Map Growth has the best grade and subject coverage of any assessment available today. Map Growth gives you the ability to test math, reading, language usage, and science in a single product. There are math and reading tests for K-12 students, and science and language usage tests for grades 2 to 12. Map Growth is available in Spanish for math K-12 and reading K-8. We'll dig into Spanish tests later in this video. We also have unique assessments designed for middle and high school students, which we call course-specific assessments that cover Algebra 1 and 2, Geometry, Integrated Math 1, 2, and 3, as well as Life Science. By providing comprehensive grade and subject coverage, Map Growth allows you to minimize the number of assessments needed as you refine your school system's assessment plan. With this industry-leading grade and subject coverage, Map Growth offers you the opportunity to reduce the number of assessments you use as you optimize your school system's assessment plan. Map Growth is more than just a single kind of interim assessment. There are actually 4 different kinds of assessment inside of Map Growth that help educators with distinct challenges. There are growth tests, screening 2 to 12 tests, screening K-2 tests, and K-2 skills checklists. Each of these tests are designed to answer specific questions about student learning and provide educators with the type of information they need to know. The most well-known is what we call our adaptive growth test, which contains 43 questions, takes about 45 to 55 minutes, and is the standard bearer for measuring achievement and growth for K-12 students. This test provides overall RIT scores, instructional area RIT scores, achievement and growth percentiles, quantile and lexile scores, and projected proficiency information for state summative tests, as well as the ACT, and SAT tests. This is the test that provides information that populates all of the map growth reports, and it's the test that gives educators the most granular and accurate data to make decisions with. There are also 3 other test types included in a map growth license, each designed to help educators gather the right kind of information so that they can best support students. The first of these 3 additional types are the adaptive screening tests for grades 2 to 12. These tests are excellent for assessing students who may be new to the district and missed an earlier map growth test, since they typically take less than a half hour to complete. Each test contains 19 to 20 questions and provides an overall RIT score for each student. Unlike the growth tests that we just talked about, these 2 to 12 screening tests do not provide the instructional area RIT scores, growth norms, or projected proficiency data. Screening tests are also shown on a limited number of reports, since the data they provide is limited compared to growth tests. In short, these grade 2 to 12 screening tests are great for educators who are short on time and need information about a student, but growth tests are better at providing accurate assessment data that populate all reports. Educators who use the screening tests most often do so when time is precious and they need high-quality information in a short period of time. There are also screening tests for grades K to 2, which assess foundational skills for new students to the school or district in these younger grades. This test type is different than the standard growth test or the 2 to 12 screening test in that it is only partially adaptive and is only available for reading and math. This test type provides a % correct rather than a RIT score. This test is best used by educators looking to better understand which specific skills new students to the school or district are strong with and which skills they will need more support on. The last test type is our K-2 skills checklist, which is designed to be used before and after a unit is taught in either reading or math. Similar to the K-2 screening test, this test is only partially adaptive and is only available for reading and math. And this test also provides a % correct rather than a RIT score. Educators who use the K-2 skills checklist tell us they like how map growth gives them a trusted tool that allows their K-2 teachers to gather data on how effective their instruction has been in a unit. All of these test formats are available with your map growth license. Now you know about what kinds of tests map growth contains. But what is a test without great questions? Let's get into why map growth has the best item pool, which is the total available questions for the map growth test, and what we teachers might call the question bank. When you peek under the hood of map growth, you'll find the industry's best item pool, both in terms of quality and quantity. First, quantity. While each student only receives 43 items on each test, having a large item pool is vital for any assessment aiming to deliver the most accurate and reliable answers. That's why we've worked for years to continually add high-quality content and now have over 51,000 items in the map growth item pool. A large item pool greatly limits the chances of students ever seeing the same question twice, dramatically increasing test validity. In fact, map growth even has a feature that prevents a student from seeing the same question within a 14-month test window. When comparing map growth to other assessments, the question to ask is, how deep is the item pool for my current assessment, and how does that impact test validity or reliability? Next, let's talk quality. We take pride in the fact that 40 to 50% of our test items are at depth of knowledge, DOK, levels 2 or 3, which require higher cognitive effort to answer correctly. DOK is a model that categorizes tasks into 4 levels based on complexity. With many map growth items at these levels, students encounter content that demands varying degrees of mastery. This means map growth isn't just a basic multiple-choice test with questions like, what is 12 times 12? The test assesses skills and standards in diverse ways with increasing levels of difficulty. When comparing your current assessment to map growth in terms of quality, ask yourself, is my assessment claiming students have mastered a skill when they've only experienced basic questions? Thanks to the vast quantity and superior quality of MapGrowth's item pool, you can trust that your students' assessment scores are second to none in accuracy and reliability. MapGrowth may be classified as a standardized test by many people, but it provides students with anything but a standardized test experience. MapGrowth is a computer adaptive assessment, which means that it responds to how students answer questions to provide a unique test experience and precisely measure each student's individual RIT score. MapGrowth is a computer adaptive assessment, which means that it responds to how students answer questions. MapGrowth provides a unique test experience and precisely measures each student's individual RIT score. Students begin each test with an item that is selected to be appropriate for their performance level or grade level, but do not receive the same starting test item. If a student answers a test question correctly, a harder question is provided. If a student answers a test question incorrectly, an easier test question is provided. The test responds to the student as an individual, providing students with just the right items to help them demonstrate what their achievement level is. This personalized testing experience allows a class of students with diverse achievement levels to engage with a single assessment without the risk of it being too difficult for lower-performing students or too easy for higher-performing ones. The test adapts to content above or below grade level as needed, accommodating each individual student and providing them with an opportunity to demonstrate where they are in their learning journey. By meeting students where they are, the test ensures that each can showcase what they know at the level that best suits them. One of the great advantages of MapGrowth's unique test design is that the likelihood of two students seeing the same test item at the same time during the same test session is almost zero. This minimizes opportunities for students to assist each other, ensuring that each MapGrowth RIT score is based entirely on an individual student's knowledge, which contributes to the test's exceptionally high validity metrics. And since we're on the topic, let's talk a little more about validity and reliability. As one of the most popular ways to measure K-12 student achievement and growth, MapGrowth is trusted to provide accurate scores to enable educators to make the best decisions possible. In the world of assessments, there are two primary ways that test makers determine if an assessment is providing scores that educators can fully trust and take confidence in: validity and reliability. Let's talk about Denise for a minute to better explain validity and reliability. In this example, we'll discuss how assessments attempt to measure Denise's true academic achievement level. For the sake of time, we'll identify that achievement level as the equivalent of a 185 RIT score. While Denise has not taken the MapGrowth test yet, we can agree she has an actual, precise achievement level that we are attempting to measure. We could have used any achievement score on any achievement scale for this demonstration, but the RIT scale is what we've been working with in this video. This true achievement level, equivalent to a 185 RIT score, is what every single assessment, including MapGrowth, is trying to measure as accurately as possible. Here, I've added a red arrow to indicate what an assessment score might look like as it tries to measure Denise's achievement level. Being a world-class assessment means that you can do two things very well. 1, get your measurement as close as possible to the true achievement level, and 2, do that on a consistent basis. Let's explore those two distinct abilities a bit more. How about an assessment that was able to accurately measure the true academic level, but wasn't able to reproduce that success on a consistent basis? We could comfortably say that this assessment is valid, but we wouldn't call it reliable by any means. Another assessment might be able to produce a very tight grouping of test results, but perhaps not be able to place them near the true academic level. We can say this assessment is very good at repeating the same kind of result over and over and has high reliability, but we wouldn't call this test very valid. When you're choosing an assessment for your school, I don't think that any of us want to have to choose between high validity and high reliability. The good news is that with MapGrowth, you don't have to choose between validity or reliability, since it is the leading assessment in both areas. MAP growth has been shown time and time again to be the most accurate, valid, and reliable interim assessment available for K-12 students. One of the most valuable features of MAP growth is its ability to auto-pause tests when students begin guessing on test questions, greatly increasing test accuracy and significantly reducing the need for retesting. MAP growth accomplishes this by measuring the amount of time a student spends on each test question before answering. If the system notices that the student rapid guessed on more than 3 test questions in a row, the student's test is paused, and their screen introduces them to the slowdown sloth. Let's watch a little video on this topic, starring me. Students, here's one thing you shouldn't do when you take the MAP growth test. But first, an acknowledgement. We know test anxiety is real, and we know MAP growth causes some of it. Deep breath. But you have nothing to worry about when it comes to taking our test. MAP growth is designed to adapt to what you know. In fact, no one ever gets the same test twice. But there is one thing that can mess with that: rapid guessing. What does that mean? A rapid guess is when you answer a question in a few seconds, well below the average response time measured by NWEA for each test question. A rapid guess is made so quickly that there's practically no way you had time to even read the question. You're not fooling anybody. If you rapid guess on too many questions, your test will pause. Then you'll meet our slowdown sloth. While you and the sloth get to know each other, your proctor will probably come over and talk to you about taking your time and trying your best on the test. So do what the all-knowing sloth says.
Slow down and take your time.
MAP growth works best when you show it what you really know, so you don't need to fly through or try for a speed run. And if you want to know how MAP growth works, guys, we gotta, hey. Watch our other videos now. As I mentioned before, preventing rapid guessing is one of the biggest factors when it comes to obtaining high-quality assessment data that educators can trust. That's why our team built test engagement features that prevent rapid guessing, to give our partners the tools they need to obtain assessment data they can feel confident making decisions with. Across the globe, educators are asking how to ensure that their Spanish-speaking students can accurately demonstrate their learning. At NWEA, we have the answer: our MAP Growth Spanish tests. MAP Growth Spanish tests are designed specifically to help educators understand students' academic abilities in Spanish. These tests, available in reading and math, offer the same reliable data educators trust from MAP Growth and are included in each MAP Growth license at no extra cost. They are typically given 3 times a year, and data from these tests populate the same reports as the English MAP Growth tests. MAP Growth Spanish tests are ideal for assessing students who receive instruction in Spanish and support multiple program options, including ESL, transitional bilingual, and dual language immersion programs. They use a generic variety of Spanish that isn't specific to one dialect. In fact, our test items are designed to avoid vocabulary words and phrases that are specific to one region or dialect. Spanish-speaking students can take the Spanish test, both the English and the Spanish test, or just the English tests based on the specific goals of the program they're in. The insights gained from these assessments are instrumental in guiding educators to develop targeted instructional strategies and support bilingual literacy development. MAP Growth Spanish math tests are available for grades K-12 and give educators an accurate picture of Spanish speakers' performance in math. This test contains trans-adapted content from the English MAP Growth math test, creating a similar testing experience for students taking the English math test. MAP Growth Spanish math tests help educators understand students' academic abilities in math without the confounding factor of English language proficiency. MAP Growth Spanish reading tests are available for grades K through 8 and help answer a key question: what can I tell about this student's reading achievement in Spanish? This test contains newly developed authentic Spanish items designed to address the unique learning to read process in Spanish, as well as trans-adapted content. MapGrowth Spanish assessments embody our commitment to inclusivity and educational equity, ensuring that every student's learning journey is understood and nurtured. If you're looking for where to find information on MapGrowth, you've come to the right place. Here are the best locations to gather information. This site hosts a wide variety of brochures, fact sheets, research studies, white papers, case studies, recorded webinars, infographics, and much more. There are filtering options that help you narrow down what you're looking for. You can also filter by product, topic, or asset type. If you're looking for a place to start learning more about MapGrowth, I would suggest starting with the MapGrowth fact sheet, the MapGrowth reports portfolio, and the MapGrowth brochure. You can find these assets by using the filter options or the search bar at the top of the page. These 3 items collectively will provide you with a detailed overview of MapGrowth's capabilities, key features, and reports. Interested to know what the latest features are on MapGrowth? Well, head over to the Product Update page on NWEA Connection. NWEA Connection is a site designed to support current MapGrowth users, but it's available to anyone interested in map products. The Product Update page is the place we post all of our new feature releases and help our partners understand all of the important changes that will be improving their test experience. Looking for detailed how-to type information for MapGrowth? If so, I'd suggest a quick look at the MapGrowth Help Center. This is the home for detailed information on how to use MapGrowth and in-depth explanations about how it works. If you're not a current MapGrowth user and are looking at the MapGrowth Help Center for the first time, I would suggest starting with the Purpose of Map page. You can quickly navigate to it by selecting About Map from the top menu bar. If you're watching this video, you most likely found it on our NWEA YouTube channel. We regularly post content to our channel to help educators just like you better understand how to use our product features, what new features are being added, and other content designed to help you build assessment-informed classrooms and school systems. You can always follow NWEA on our social media channels. Find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. We often post updates from our research and professional learning teams. And finally, our blog, Teach, Learn, Grow, is fantastic, and I highly recommend checking it out. You will find information on MapGrowth, but you'll also find interviews with assessment experts, topical issues like the science of reading, analysis of the impact of COVID on student learning, and so much more. You can find it by searching for Teach, Learn, Grow, or by using the link on our nwea.org homepage. As you can see from the number of resources available to you, if you've got questions, we've got you covered. That was a lot to remember about MapGrowth, and I'm reading it off a teleprompter, but you don't have that luxury. So, open your Notepad app because we have a list of the top 10 most important takeaways about MapGrowth. Number 1. MapGrowth has the greatest grade K-12 and subject coverage, math, reading, language usage, and science, out of any assessment available on the market today, which you should know by now after watching this very long video. And we provide assessments in English and Spanish. Second, MapGrowth adjusts to each student in order to provide them with a personalized test experience that meets them where they're at, regardless of if they're on, below, or above grade level. Third, MapGrowth provides the most valid and reliable assessment available and displays each test event's standard error of measure, SEM, to ensure that educators can feel confident making decisions with that data. Fourth, the RIT Score and RIT Scale provide you with the ability to track a student's achievement and growth across their entire K-12 educational career using one single assessment score. Fifth, the MapGrowth item pool, with over 51,000 items, is the largest available, ensuring students don't see the same question twice, and more importantly, ensures high test validity. Number 6, MapGrowth norms are sculpted to provide an accurate representation of the geographical, racial, and socioeconomic diversity of the United States. This precisely answers the question, how do my students compare to students across the nation? Number 7, Map growth provides you with projected proficiency data that helps you predict how students are likely to perform on end-of-year state summative tests, as well as the ACT and SAT. Number 8. The Map Growth Instructional Connections program gives educators the freedom to choose how they use assessment data to inform instruction, connects with over 30 high-quality and independently vetted instructional tools, and creates personalized learning pathways that meet students where they're at with content they're ready for. Number 9. The most successful Map Growth users do more than just give a test 3 times a year. They work with us to build yearly plans that help change educational cultures, improve assessment literacy, and empower assessment-informed classrooms. And finally, number 10. Each Map Growth test is aligned to state standards, or the standards that your school system uses, and all of the items in the item pool are hand-selected to align to your standards. This means that every item that students see on the Map Growth test in your school will be aligned to one of your standards. As thorough as we've been, I also know that there's no replacement for speaking with an assessment expert one-on-one. If you're ready to have a deeper conversation about how Map Growth could help your school and your district, there are 2 primary ways to get in touch with an account representative here at NWEA. The easiest way is to visit our website and fill out a short form that outlines what kind of information you're looking for. Our team tries to respond to every educator within 24 hours. You could be talking to us tomorrow, hey! Another way to talk to an NWEA representative face-to-face is to join us at one of the many events we take part in. You can see a listing of what events we participate in on our website. And there may be additional conferences and local events that our account representatives attend in your area. Reach out to us to see if there are local opportunities to connect. We can't wait to talk to you about Map Growth and how NWEA can support student growth in your school. After more than 40 years of working with educators to develop a world-class assessment, one of the things we've learned is that switching from a previous assessment can sometimes be challenging. Assessments are built into evaluation systems, help guide decision-making at all levels, and help determine if students or teachers receive additional support and resources. That's why our NWEA account representatives are experienced in helping you build pilot programs that let you try out Map Growth in a way that matches your specific needs. Want to try a pilot at a single school, or perhaps a single grade across all your schools? NWEA representatives can provide guidance as you determine how Map Growth can fit into your school system. If you're considering piloting with Map Growth, we've found that the most successful pilots occur when a school is able to get at least 2 test events completed, typically one mid-year and one end-of-year test administration. Schools that are only able to get 1 test event complete, most often end of year, find themselves paying more attention to the process of administering the new test and less on evaluating the high-quality data it generates. Piloting with 2 test events also opens up much more value because Map Growth will be able to measure academic growth between these 2 test events. In order to ensure your school is set up to pilot in time to achieve a mid-year test event, we highly suggest you request a live conversation with an NWEA representative at least 6 weeks before you would want to conduct your mid-year pilot test administration. For schools in the U.S. and other countries in the Northern Hemisphere, this 6-week lead time would typically mean you want to organize a pilot with your NWEA representative before the middle of November. The first step in piloting Map Growth in your school system is to set up time with an NWEA account representative to talk about what your goals and objectives are. You can request a meeting by visiting nwea.org, clicking the sales link at the top of the page, and filling out a short form that outlines what kind of information you're looking for. You'll be contacted within 24 hours by someone who's able to schedule a discussion with you and answer your most pressing questions. One last thing to mention about getting hands-on experience with Map Growth before your team decides to make a full-scale adoption. Because we take great care to ensure the high quality of our item pool, we do not have a way for educators to give the Map Growth assessment to a small group of students outside of organizing a pilot with an NWEA representative. However, if you're looking for a way to see what the test experience looks like, we do have a solution for that. Head over to practice.mapnwea.org and enter in GROW for both the username and password. And you'll be able to experience the Map Growth practice test. This practice test does not provide a Map Growth RIT score, but it does enable you to experience what it's like to engage with Map Growth test questions. Use this practice test to become familiar with the wide variety of item types and test-taking tools like line readers and calculators. Additionally, this practice test allows you to see what tests look like for students of all grades, as well as what the Map Growth Spanish test-taking experience looks like. So, if you're thinking that trying out Map Growth in your school is a good idea, please visit us at the contact link below. Fill out the short form, and an NWEA representative will contact you shortly. At the beginning of this video, I laid out our learning targets. Teacher, it's worth looking back at the list in case there's something you want to skip back to and watch again. Who is NWEA? What is Map Growth? What problems does Map Growth help solve? Why do educators choose Map Growth? What is the RIT score and scale? What is the value of Map Growth norms? What reports are available in Map Growth, and what questions do they answer? And what are the best ways to use Map Growth data? We're done! Hooray! You did it! You really did it. I can officially certify you, you late-night watcher, ye with the staying power, as a Map Growth expert. On behalf of the whole Map Growth team, I bid you farewell. Bye. Bye. Speak up, Carl.
Bye. Hee hee hee. Show Mo.